I was recently enjoying a movie and wondering how it was rated by others. When checking out its ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, once more I felt confirmed that especially movies which are panned by critics and loved by the audience are worthwhile watches for me. Of course, examples are plenty of movies which are neither liked by critics nor the audience, or loved by both. But here I would like to present my favorite 5 movies for 2022 where critics and audience disagree. My number 5 is The Gray Man. This Ryan Gosling movie carries 46% on the Tomatometer and a 90% audience score. In fact, I did not find the movie particularly memorable. However, it has a great cast. Ryan Gosling, Ana de Armas, Billy Bob Thornton, and Chris Evans go all in here. One can hardly cast more charisma. I think Netflix set out to make a first class big action movie. But The Grey Man is so stuffed with logic holes and CGI that it degrades the viewing pleasure. Anyhow, I was happy to see Ryan Gosling resurfacing as muscle packed action hero. And if you like bombastic entertainment with classic characters, both women and men are smart here, then The Grey Man is for you. Ranking as my number 4 is Uncharted, the long awaited game adaptation. The adaptation turned out to have less in common with the game than what fans had expected, but because of decent action and likable characters played by Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg, who could have played Holland's character 20 to 25 years ago, it was a success in early 2022. Critics did not much like Uncharted, but audiences gave it a 90% score. There was not much else in the marketplace when Uncharted was released, and the movie went to astonishing box office heights, earning 400 million US dollar worldwide. With the Indiana Jones franchise soon coming to an end, there's a gap to fill with a younger, explorer in further uncharted adventures. My number 3 goes to Black Adam. No doubt the movie's popularity did not monetize to the hundreds and hundreds of $1 million Dwayne Johnson had hoped for. But I think if Black Adam had come out earlier this year, it would have been ahead of superhero fatigue and done better. Audiences liked it with 89% audience score, but critics were not fond of the movie. Enough about Black Adam. Let's move on to number 2 on my list. Mark Wahlberg is hardworking but miscast in Father Stu, an issue compounded by the way the movie fumbles its fact-based story. That, and 41% on the Tomatometer, represents the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes about Father Stu. I could hardly agree less. The moment the movie started, I found Mark Wahlberg being an ideal fit for the main character. I also share the audience opinion on Rotten Tomatoes. A fact-based movie with a big heart. Father Stu has a terrific cast and a message that's almost guaranteed to move you. I think this is a remarkably fitting example of critics versus audience opinion. While the critics found discomfort in Mark Wahlberg playing a priest in a movie that is arguably long and sometimes lacking story progress, the audience felt the movie's big heart, enjoyed its cast, and was simply moved. If you have not watched Father Stu, the movie fits well into the Christmas season. It is positive, has great dialogue, superb acting, and takes its time. I find the audience rating absolutely fitting. It was not a big hit at the box office, but made on a $4 million budget, it certainly made a profit. And word of mouth will be fine for this one and supported on streaming. Alone the scenes with Mel Gibson are worth the price of it. And now the number 1 movie on my list where critics and audience disagree. Where the Crawdads Sing was panned by critics with 34% on the Tomatometer. Critics say Daisy Edgar Jones gives it her all, but Where the Crawdads Sing is ultimately unable to distill its source material into a tonally coherent drama. Okay, the movie meanders a bit between romance, thriller, and courtroom movie. But the mixed tone reminded me a bit of The Green Mile, which also was all over the place. But I don't know what at all from a technical, storytelling, acting, or directing point of view justifies 34% on the Tomatometer. I go with the audience, which gave it 96%. Where the Crawdads Sing is a moving, romantic, intense, thrilling, and beautiful movie based on a successful book. Crawdads made 90 million US dollar at the domestic box office and another 46 million internationally. Reese Witherspoon knew well why she wanted to produce this movie. It has a unique setting and the story is captivating. The resulting movie is timeless. It could have come out 20 years ago. Probably critics would have reacted differently back then and positively received the nicely developed relationships between the young female and young male leads. All the care the old lawyer is taking of the protagonist. All the struggles she has to go through, learn, adapt, and experience. If you haven't, please check out Where the Crawdads Sing. The audience score on Where the Crawdads Sing once again makes me confident that audiences recognize and appreciate well-told stories and good movies. Let me hear if you can recommend other movies where critics and audience disagree. And let's meet again.